Well, hello, everybody. It's your boy, Ryan Kelly here, sports director, WCTV. It's a close shot because if you'll take it wide, Adam, there's no one else here on the couch with me this week. Sydney and Allison both gone. They'll be back next week. However, we still have plenty of great high school basketball to get to today. And also, Sydney Wicker left us a pretty interesting little feature. But hey, we'll get to the full court feature in a little bit. We'll get to the colleges in a little bit. But we had a stellar game in South Georgia as our game of the night. Cairo has become one of the hottest teams in South Georgia, surging now at 9-8. Bainbridge struggling down the stretch, 10-7, but a win over their rivals from the Syrup City. Oh, that could put things back into overdrive. The gym packed to capacity, as it always is when these two get together. Cairo with the ball, but not for long. Scrum on the ground. Bainbridge has it. Zarell Williams finishes it. The hoop and the harm has the Cats cooking, and Bainbridge Gym comes alive. But now the Makers' turn. Amari Powell pokes it away, clear for takeoff. The two-handed jam, and it is game on at BHS. More defense into offense. Keshin Spence pokes one away. He brings the peanut butter. Powell brings the jam on the alley-oop. Cairo just a feeling it at this point. Bearcats need something, anything, and like most good things in this game, it came off a steal. How about that friendly bounce for A.J. Grant? He gets two for the Cats, but Cairo just too good. Spence from downtown. Count it for three as the Syrup Makers start to pour it on. This one an absolute dandy, but it is Cairo getting it done, 61-56. They say there's nothing like being a syrup maker on a Friday night. Apparently that applies in basketball season as well. Cairo now winners of 6 of their last 8, vanquishing their rivals on the road tonight. How about the sequel? Jam-packed Cougar Den. Off Tharp Street, Godby looking for home court revenge over Rickards after their loss to the Raiders 2 weeks ago. Early goings, Calvin Thomas powering the visitors. The mid-range, Jay goes. 2-point lead for Rickards. Soon after, Thomas again, that one a little deeper. 4-point lead now for the visiting Raiders. But the Cougs, yeah, they came to play too. Jaden Staten drives in, gets the layup to go. Godby answers back. That play so nice, he did it twice. Another drive to the hoop. Easy finish here for him. But, hey, on the other end, it was Rickards who got hot, too. Randall Pompey now dealing with some traffic, but no problem. He gets the shot to go. And the Raiders storm into the Cougar Den and get the dub, 66-58, your final score off Tharp Street. All right, Florida High hoping not to smell what the Rock is cooking. In Gainesville tonight, taking on the Lions. Amari Robinson getting the three-pointer to go. 3-2 Knowles early on in this one. If you think I'm going to make a bunch of Rock catchphrases, I absolutely am. Because Trey Card is here and he says, "It doesn't matter what your name is." Gets the long-range 2 to go. 15-12, FSU leads. But unfortunately for the Rock, they have to go one-on-one with the great one. Terrell, T.J. Baker, fast break to Amari Robinson, low post, down 25-22. Ray Daly Jr. passes, Trey Card jumper, mid-post. FSUS down 32-29. Third quarter, however, Lions R.J. Jones in the low post. He finished with 21 on the night. Unfortunately, I don't get to ask the Rock if they can smell what Florida High is cooking. 76-60 is the final. All right, how about some girls hoops now? Apologies to our girls hoops fans. No, we don't have a lot of ladies games tonight. However, our cameras were at this one late. Logan Poole gets it to fall with about 3 minutes left to go. Chiles down a big chunk of change in this one, and the visitors from Niceville were more than content to pour it on. Jasmine Fowler gets the rock, crashes into the hoop. Slick play there for the visiting Eagles, and more of the same in the game's final seconds. Fowler again. It was a tough night at home for the T-Wolves. They lose this one 68-33 on the north side. Thomas County Central getting hot. Winners of 5 of their last 6, taking on Veterans tonight, and it was easy goings and easy early pickings for the Jackets. To Cameron Duncan all alone. Corner tray gets it to go, sinking the first bucket of the game. Jackets back on offense, passing around the horn, eventually feeding it to Charlie Dunbar inside, and the big fella delivers through 3 defenders. Central cooking early on in this one. But Veterans, yeah, they're an 11-5 squad for a reason. Fantastic transition work, and even better finish from Jelani Dean sees the visitors walk the lead down. Central back to work on the other end, and inside for Mantrell Mosley. He scores the easy deuce. It was early success for Central, but unfortunately the bus runs out of gas. 80-57 Veterans, your final score tonight. Next door, Thomasville taking on Dougherty. They were unfortunately down big at the intermission, trying to do something about that out of the halftime locker room, but the Trojans had other plans. Right out of the break, a swish for three, and the hill just gets higher for the Bulldogs. But don't fret for the red and gold. Here they come. Messiah Wilson gets this one and gets a very friendly bounce from the iron. Thomasville gets its first points of the half. Dogs still scratching to get back in at transition. Wilson gets it to Jordan Mitchell, who finishes the fast break for two. Trojan lead is still double digits, but starting to dwindle. Bulldogs with possession again. Michael Anderson gets it, thinks about driving inside, pulls up, contested three goes, and these guys must be living right because the iron smiles on the home team again. However, the Dogs just cannot bite back. They fall by 20. Good news, however, the Lady Dogs got the win tonight. Finally, we go back to Bainbridge, where Grace Christian played host to Highland Christian. Early returns really good for the home team in this one, because here comes Owen Ernest putting up the floater, getting it to go, clanging through for the Cougs. Grace feeling it early. Here comes Grace again. Keith Edson thinks about dishing it, instead puts up the long range two, gets it to fall. Good stuff from him. Fast forward, Grace looking for more, but here comes a steal, and here comes easy points for the Eagles. They lay it on up unopposed. Cougars back with the ball, and look how quickly they're able to move this up. Great ball movement. Luke Boyette lays it in for the two there for the home team, but the visitors far from done. Initial shot won't go, but there's another guy in black and green to clear it up. This was the one game we could not find a final for tonight, so if you know it, please call the station. We will certainly put that on air if we get it before we wrap on up. Okay, so great night of action tonight. Here's what you have to look forward to tomorrow. Gadsden County, you know which one to circle on the calendar. Monroe and Crossroad, always great when those two rivals get together. Godby and Lincoln playing on the girls' side of things here in Tallahassee. Cairo, the basketball team's red hot. Go see the boys and the girls. They're hosting Spencer at Teresa Edwards Court. Brooks and Irwin, a great South Georgia rivalry. Taylor and Madison on Boot Hill. And finally, North Florida Christian travels to the Hawks Nest to take on the Franklin County Seahawks. Hey, when we come back, Florida State women's basketball, one of the talks of the ACC, and it's doing so behind a surprising force. Sydney Wicker has your full court feature right after this. When you think about the star power on Florida State's women's basketball roster, you're immediately drawn to the youth of the team, like sophomore superstar Tanaya Latson. But one of the Seminoles has saved her best for last in FSU's spectacular season so far. Sydney Wicker sits down with her in tonight's full court feature.
Sara is no secret. She never has been. Everyone knows about her and what she brings.
Fifth-year senior Sara Bejedi has completely unleashed her talents.
Just shifting my perspective and approach mentally.
Now, prior to this year, Bejedi had been struggling to find her groove on the court, so she took this summer as a chance to hit the reset button. She went and played with her national team and then came back with a whole new attitude. And she also came back in love.
Like I rekindled with my first love, which is now my fiance. So that was kind of like an uphill thing. He's someone who kind of like keeps me grounded.
Bejedi and her fiance got engaged in August, and since then she's felt like she's become a better teammate, and she's also been focusing on just having fun.
It's funny when you want things and you force things, they tend to not come, but as of late I've been not, slacking, but, having fun with it and not being stressed, so.
She had her first 30-point career game on Sunday against Virginia Tech, which included 5 three-pointers. She averages 27 points a game and is shooting 50% from deep. She's also been named the ACC Player of the Week, the Naismith College Player of the Week, and the U.S. Women's Basketball Player of the Week.
Let's be honest, all players go through ups and downs. I mean, this is a really hard road, no matter what kind of success they're having or not. When you see this kind of light bulb go on, or these moments come where after battling and doing all the right things to just continue to fight and come back and try again, it just makes me so happy for her and for our team.
The switch has been flipped and Sara's fire isn't going to be put out anytime soon. From the Tucker Center, I'm Sydney Wicker, WCTV Sports.
Of course, it was a toughie for the Noles on Thursday, blowing that late lead at Syracuse, but Sara and Florida State looking to get back on track Sunday at the Tuck as they welcome in the Virginia Cavaliers with a 2 p.m. tip-off. And speaking of this weekend, it is a loaded one with gigantic stakes for all of our college teams. We got a preview of all this weekend's action coming up right after this. Hey, thank you guys so much. Literally, as soon as we asked for the score, we got about 2 Facebook messages, a couple phone calls. There you see it, bottom of your screen. There we go. This is why I don't do the weather, folks. 64-57. I just got a great job, Vanna White, in my ear. Anyway, Grace winners tonight, 64-57. Congrats to the Cougars. Let's start talking about some college action right now, because there may be no bigger showdown this weekend than in the D2 ranks, where the Valdosta State Lady Blazers are looking to make a statement on Hall of Fame weekend as the Lee Flames come to town. The Lady Flames are the only team in the GSC to have handed VSU a loss this season, and they're hoping to get even behind a raucous complex crowd at 2 p.m.
I know there's been plenty of times where we might hit a shooting lull or whatever, and then we hit that 1-3 and our fans are behind us, and it feels like the whole world's with us, you know? And so I think that's something where we're going to need a lot of the fan support. We're going to need our complex crazies out here and in full force, because it is going to be a dogfight. We're prepped for that dogfight, and we're ready to give the home fans a good game.
Well, don't stop now, but out of nowhere, nothing seems to be able to stop the Florida State men. Winners of 5 straight, and then, of course, that includes beating Miami bell to bell in Coral Gables earlier this week. Clemson on deck at the Tuck tomorrow, and Brad Brownell's squad coming off a tough one, a double overtime loss against Georgia Tech. But, you know, as long as P.J. Hall has the ball, the Tigers are a threat. Of course, he broke the Noles' heart at the Tuck last year. Finally, the Rattlers on the road this weekend, taking on the Golden Lions of Arkansas Pine Bluff. The fellas looking for their first conference win still, while Coach Bridgette Gordon and the Rattler ladies looking to get back to 500 in SWAC play after Monday's MLK heartbreaker at home against Grambling. Taking a look elsewhere, Panhandle play continues for TCC. The men and women make the trek west on I-10 to take on Pensacola State. Meanwhile, Thomas, the Nighthawks, on the road as well. They're in New Orleans taking on Loyola NO. 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. your kickoffs there. Folks, if you're going out, make sure you're bundling up. Probably a good weekend to stay inside and watch some hoops or watch some NFL playoffs. Of course, we'll have that for you here on WCTV. If you're headed out to the David Ross and Brian Henry camp tomorrow, make sure you're bundling up for that as well. We'll be there. We'll be with the Blazers. We'll be with the Noles. Good luck to everybody else. Good night. We'll see you next week on Full Court Friday.